Last night, some deviously clever thieves hatched a genius idea on how to steal an ATM machine using a forklift. This isn't the first of its kind, and it certainly won't be the last. In fact, it's a pretty popular genre of content online, with surveillance cameras capturing goofy ATM heists, and it's always a whole team of clowns that show up to the party, and somehow none of them had any neuron activation to plan beforehand because it almost never goes right. It seems like ATM robberies are done exclusively by people that can't tie their own shoes, but then also somehow have access to the wackiest vehicles ever. Like, last night it was a forklift. There was one a couple years ago where they came up with a fucking excavator, actual heavy machinery, an excavator they used to carve the ATM out of a building, pick it up in its bucket and dump into a goddamn van. Like, I don't even know where they're getting it from. It's like they're playing GTA Online in real life. But yeah, it's always just so interesting. So I want to show you a few of them. We'll start with last night's forklift heist. This happened in Sacramento, and it's like something out of a SpongeBob episode with every villain is Lemons here. So there's only a couple of chess pieces on the board here. We have the white pickup truck on the top and the forklift on the left. Now pay close attention to that forklift operator, because he may be out here committing a crime, but he said, "God damn it, I'm not violating OSHA regulations." Robbery is one thing, but violating OSHA regulations, that's an unforgivable sin, and I will have no part in that, thank you very much. So that gentleman's in the proper forklift attire, complete with even the hard hat, and then he just fires this bitch into turbo drive. He engaged the NOS boosters and just gave a big wallop to the ATM, knocking it off of the pedestal there. And then he begins the second part of this incredible scheme that they've hatched. The truck driver throws that ass in reverse to get in the proper position to receive the ATM, and then the forklift driver comes over here and just skewers it. He starts pumping it a little bit, hoping to get the tongs on the actual ATM unit itself and not just the outer casing. It's like an egg, and then the orange stuff is the shell, and what he wants to get to is the yolk in the middle. So, with the delicate hands of a surgeon, he gets underneath it and cradles it like a baby. So, mission accomplished so far. He's got the ATM on the forklift, and now it's just the last little piece of the puzzle, and he blows it. Yeah, he blows it. A bit of a fumble there, miscalculation, could have happened to anyone. And as you can see, it's happening to the best of us. Now all of a sudden there's a spectator in the stands. Another car swoops in here, a variable they couldn't have accounted for, and this had to be the most shocking moment of that driver's life. What started as just a normal trip to the ATM ended up with him getting caught in an idiot's sandwich, so he says, "You know what, I'm not hungry, I'm going home." And just when you thought this game was over, sports fans, wait until the fourth quarter, because look at this comeback. A perfect exchange from forklift to truck bed. Dominic Toretto puts pedal to the metal and drives off. No need to fasten or secure the ATM in the truck bed. It's not going to fall off. They're operating off hopes and dreams. And when has that ever not been enough? According to news reports, the ATM fell off a few miles up the road and ended up causing a car accident. So I can only pray that whoever was involved in that accident is okay. Just, who could have seen that coming?
Into the bed of the truck, only for it to fall off in the middle of the street, causing a traffic accident.
No one could have accurately predicted that that would happen. Just truly a freak accident somehow, that ATM falling off the truck. But I don't want to just talk about just this one ATM heist, because there's so many that are just as wacky and goofy, so I want to show you a few of them. But before doing that, I want to show you something that is far more valuable than an ATM machine. It's Godslap. Issue 4 of Godslap, to be precise. It just dropped today. Issue 4 of Godslap is here. This is the standard cover, as well as always, 2 beautiful variant covers. And the story is really, really getting good, so you don't want to miss it. Godslap issue 4 is available right now at badegg.co. And if you don't want a physical copy of Godslap, there is a digital download as well. So definitely make sure to check that out. It's our comic series we've been working on for a few years now, and we're really starting to get in our stride. We're entering the golden age of Godslap, baby. I know I've already shown this clip before, but since I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, I figured there's no time like the present to once again put it in the top of everyone's mind. This is the infamous excavator ATM heist here. So this is a stolen excavator, and they really gave it a workout. You can see him going fishing here for the ATM, just really digging in there like someone trying to get the last bit of toothpaste out of the tube. Finally gets the ATM in the bucket, and here's his good friends here, the foot ninjas from the Ninja Turtles. That man up front is striking a power stance like actual NPC energy, and then he gets it and just puts it in the open sunroof of the van. And let me tell ya, perfect calculations because it fits like a glove. Look at that. Putting the square into the square hole just the way we used to do it when we were kids. Jackpot. Now, it may not have, fit as perfectly as they maybe drew it up in the playbook, which is why they give it a couple of little slaps to try and get it down a bit deeper, but at the end of the day, it was good enough, so they were satisfied with the job well done and drove away.
The footage is shocking. A pickup truck smashes into a grocery store, but this driver isn't done. He goes on the other side and zooms straight through.
When I first saw that clip, I actually laughed out loud very hard, which isn't normal for me from a YouTube video. I just couldn't even wrap my head around the thought process of the driver. Like, he accomplished the goal on the first try here. He got a strike down the bowling alley. He backed his truck up into the store through the doors the first time. So why did he pull out and do it again just for a bigger fucking explosion? Like, on the other side, it accomplished nothing. He had already done what he set out to do with getting his truck inside. I don't exactly know why he did that. That was absolutely a fuck you. This became personal. It went from an ATM robbery to a statement real quick.
Why is this happening? Because crooks are after the ATM machine. They load it in the truck and they're off.
Now, this one doesn't use any fancy schmancy machinery here like a forklift or an excavator. Just good old-fashioned spit and elbow grease. Just two dudes being men, picking up an ATM and putting it in their truck and driving away. No need for elaborate planning, no need for even a single thought to enter your brain for this one. Just, I want ATM. I drive truck through and pick up ATM. Okay. Actual caveman brain idea.
With the use of brute force, brazen ATM thefts are happening all over the country.
This whole video from Inside Edition is mainly a montage of wacky ATM thefts, and you can see that they brought out a timeless classic strategy here with, once again, the forklift, but this one's got a little pizzazz to it. They're hitting us with a razzle-dazzle. So they're doing like a little balancing act where they're just like, they got a fingernail on the ATM machine with the forklift tongue, and he's just like kind of balancing it on the way out and like holding it back and driving away slowly. It's like something out of the circus. It's actually very impressive. There's real talent behind the wheel of that forklift. This isn't something that anybody could just get up and do. There is a real passion for their work here. And dare I say it, they even seem a bit considerate. They said, you know what, I want the money from the ATM, but I don't want to cause too much damage in the process. So I'm just gonna real tenderly pick it up, balance it, and just get away with it. I don't want to hit any walls or anything. He didn't come in here and just start fucking slapping it around like the last guy in the forklift video we saw from last night. This guy came in here with a real delicate touch. Or at least that's what the video showed. Maybe right after this brief clip, the guy just goes ballistic and starts just like speeding the forklift into everything he can find, maybe.
In Chicago, a crook wraps a rope around the ATM and gives the signal. A truck then hauls the machine through the front door, even injuring his partner.
That one's probably my favorite. Just a beautiful blunder, really. Wraps the cord around the forklift, and then he's like, all right, punch it. And then he just gets absolutely blasted by the ATM. He didn't stop to think for just 1 second how the world works with physics and shit, that by standing at the doorway where the rope was leading out, that the ATM would follow that trail. So he just stands right in between a bullet and a target here and takes a hit to the leg from the ATM. It just comes through like a cannonball and annihilates him. His knee got busted up in a big way. It reminds me of a tweet I read like a month ago where a guy took a bad step at a baseball game and he like blew out both of his knees. The tweet said, this man just blew his ACL, MCL, DVD, and NBC. And that's how I feel about this clip right here. That ATM absolutely fucked his knee, I think. Now, I don't think it broke his leg because it seems like he was able to like kind of limp away, but that's no doubt just all of the adrenaline that kicked in to, not get caught here. But yeah, I think that clip is by far the best one so far from these ATM heists. So yeah, I just wanted to share a few of these with you since the forklift one just happened last night, and that's really about it. So yeah.